Hello all my people out there in the bookverse, it's Stephanie, and today I am going to be doing a reading challenge. I stole my husband's phone so I'd be able to take the challenge with me and know the prompts as I go and search my bookshelf. This is the history of my bookshelf challenge, and it was made by Emma over at Emma Books, so I'll definitely link her channel and her original video down below if you want to go check her out, because she is super fun. She does a lot of challenges and I really like her. This challenge has 25 prompts, so I'm gonna have to find 25 books that fit these prompts. I'm pretty excited about it. I've watched hers already, so I guess I'm kind of already familiar with what the prompts are, but she finished hers in just a little over 10 minutes, I believe, so that's my goal, is to beat her 10-minute mark. So we'll see how this goes. I'm really excited to do it. I do have 2 bookshelves. I've done another challenge before. I don't think I actually posted it though, so I'll explain this again. But I have some of my books here on these bookshelves, but there's not enough room, so I do have another set of bookshelves over there in the living room. So I could potentially be running in there to get some books. It adds on a little bit of time, so hopefully I'll be able to find as many books here as I can. That's my goal. I'm gonna try to find them here, if at all possible. So I have a timer stopwatch over here on my computer. You know, you can just like Google this and find it. I think it's so cool. I just Googled stopwatch, or I Googled timer, and they're like, you're wrong, you want a stopwatch. But anyways, now I have what I want. Here we go. Okay, so the first one is the oldest book on your shelf. Okay, I know this because we've actually done this for another challenge. So oldest book, got it. Book you read in 2013. Okay, 13 through 19 years. Let's do this. Okay, 2013. 2013. Oh my gosh, it's arriving in 2013. Okay, let me think. 2013. I did not read it. Okay, I did. I'll go get it from my bookshelf. 2015. Is it on this bookshelf? Yes. Okay, 2015, 2016. Ooh, I don't have the actual physical version, but I'll put it up there. 2017. Okay. 2017. 2018. Is it on this bookshelf? Yes, 2018. And then 2019. That's this year. I can do this one. Where's the book that I read this year? Seriously? 2019! Okay, I know I have some on the other shelf, so I'll go grab the 2 books I need. Okay, there we go. Book you've read more than once. Okay, this one. A book that you waited for over a year to be published. I don't have it, but I have the first one, so we're counting it, and I'll put up a picture of the one I mean. A book you read on vacation away from home. Okay, I just went on vacation, so I know that. Here we go. A book you got from someplace special. Anything that's not your local bookstore or an online retailer. Okay, I can definitely do that. I can do that, right? Yes. Okay, there we go. A book that made you cry. Book that made me cry. I really don't cry that much in books. Okay, I'm gonna have to go with it. This one. A book you read in one sitting. Okay, I can do that. A book that I read in one sitting. Ooh, I know. No, that doesn't count. No, I'm counting it. It counts. Ow! Holy cow! That was really hard. Okay. A book that was a gift. That's easy. There we go. Whew. Okay. A book that you read before owning it, like the library, or I borrowed it from a friend. Literally none. I really honestly don't think there's any, but I'll look. Oh, okay. This way. Okay, whew, found one. A book you lent to someone else. That's in another room as well. A book that has been damaged. Ooh, I think that's here. Yeah, that one's trashed. That one's so damaged. Okay. A book you got on sale or discounted. Okay, yeah, I know that. Only reason I have it. A book you read with someone else or buddy read. Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay, we're doing okay. A book you associate with a song. Song? Yes. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay. A book that you got years ago that you probably wouldn't buy now. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that one I got to. Man, this shelf over here is treating me well, guys. A book you associate with a specific time in your life. Oh no, man. A specific time in my life. Okay, here we go. Ugh. Okay, whoo-hoo. I need to grow or something. A book you used to like but don't anymore. This one's hard because I don't feel like I really do that with books. I think I just kind of remember how I felt and don't necessarily. I think maybe, I guess this. Okay, we'll say this one, and I'll just explain why. The newest book on your shelf. That one's so easy. Careful. Okay, now what was the one that I skipped? Which one did I skip, guys? Oh no. Okay, I remember. Okay. Whew. Whew. 7 minutes 45 seconds. Woohoo! Okay, that was so good. I feel really good about it. I need to not have to run into the other room because I'm not in shape for that. Okay, let's go through the list and I will show you what books I picked for which prompts. I think I'm gonna go in backwards order because they're stacked that way. And it'll just be hard for me to unstack them. Okay, the newest book on your shelf is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is the same author as The Night Circus. I am so excited to read this. I love The Night Circus. It's one of my very absolute favorite books ever of all time. And this is her second book, Starless Sea. It's so beautiful. Like, I mean, look at that. It's gorgeous. I am really, really excited to get to read it. It came out on November 5th. So I got like 3 books that came out November 5th, but I picked this one up the last because I had to go to the bookstore and pick it up with my ticket for her signing when she's going to come to my city and she's going to sign some books. So I'm really excited for that. So this is the newest book on my shelf. The next prompt is a book you used to like but don't anymore. And that one's kind of hard for me because I tend to just remember the books as how I liked them at the time. And I don't necessarily read them again and think, oh my gosh, this is so juvenile or I don't like this anymore, except perhaps honestly Twilight, but I can't use, but I already used that one for a prompt, so I can't grab it again. But I did go with Crazy Rich Asians, and the reason I went with it for this one is because I did relatively enjoy this first book, but as I kept reading the series, it was just too much talk about the types of clothes and the fabric and the designers and the artists and the architecture and everything about these rich people that it just was so too much for me. I didn't understand any of it. I mean, I'm kind of a hick from Montana, right? So I don't get this stuff. I don't think we even have stores that sell this type of stuff where I'm from. So it just became too much for me and made me not really like the series as a whole, just because it was too hard to read and understand everything. I had to Google a lot, and I don't enjoy stories when I have to Google every 5 seconds. So that's why I'm going with this one, because I enjoyed it when I first read it, but as I kept going with the series, I stopped liking the whole series. I don't know if that counts, but I'm going with it. The next prompt was a book you associate with a specific time in your life. I picked Beauty. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It is one of my absolute favorite Beauty and the Beast retellings of all time. It is by Robin McKinley, and I just absolutely love this book. Ooh, it's not focusing on me. Why is it not focusing on me? There we go. Okay. I absolutely love this book. I just can't say enough about it, but I remember I would steal it from my sister's room because she also loved this book, and it was in my middle school years, and yeah, I definitely associate it with middle school years, and I read it probably 5 times. It's just a beautiful book. I highly recommend it if you like retellings. The next one is a book you got years ago that you probably wouldn't buy now. I definitely have a book for this one. It is Ivanhoe, tiny version, can't really see it, but I got this book when I thought I was going to be getting really into classics and be very cultured, and I was probably like 13 or something, and yeah, I would never buy it now. Never even read it. A book you associate with a song. Okay. For this one, I went with Ready Player One. This one has a lot of references to the 80s, and a lot of it is references to 80s songs. I mean, it has references to 80s culture, 80s video games, especially 80s songs are in there, 80s television shows. So this I associate with 80s songs, and I love it. I didn't get a lot of the references in here, but I got a lot of the song references, so. The next question is a book you read with someone else, like you buddy read it or it was a book club or something. For that one, I went with An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I read this book with my friend Jessica. She lives in North Dakota, so we just kind of buddy read it over a distance and texted about it, but yes. Enchantment of Ravens, a book you got on sale or discounted. I got An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green on sale at a used bookstore, and that's pretty much the only reason I picked it up, because it doesn't sound like a book I would enjoy. I know so many people on YouTube love it, and I feel like someday it's gonna fill a prompt for a readathon, and I'm gonna be glad I have it, so that's the one I got on sale. The next question is a book that has been damaged. I actually have a couple. I have a lot of Harry Potter, but I already chose Harry Potter for 2 other prompts. So I went with The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. It doesn't even have the cover anymore. The back's totally coming off. I mean, yeah, this thing is trashed, but I love this book, and actually my husband bought me a new version of this, so it's all good, but I still kind of hold on to this one because it has some memories. Just what this book tag is meant to do, right? Pull out the memories. The next one is a book you lent to someone else. This is the one I forgot about and had to run into the other room to grab. I lent Seraphina to my friend Erin because we were reading it for book club, and I had already read it before she even started, so I just lent it to her so that she would be able to just read it without buying it in case she didn't want to buy it. Not everyone is like me. Not everyone has to buy every book that they read. But she was so sweet. She'd put it in like protective bag to take it to work and read. So cute. Yeah, she took it so it wouldn't get damaged because she knows how much I love my books. My Erin, you are the sweetest. So if you're watching this, Erin, thank you. The next one is a book that you read before owning, like a library book or you borrowed it from a friend. And this one is Bitter Blue. I did end up borrowing this one before I read it. This is the 3rd book in the... It's not necessarily a series. It's by Kristen Cashore, and it has Graceling, Fire, and Bitter Blue in it. They're not really series books, but they are kind of companion novels. So you technically could read Bitter Blue first if you wanted to, but I would recommend reading it in the order that they were published. So Graceling, Fire, and then Bitter Blue. The next prompt we have is a book that was a gift. Now I have so many of these because my husband feeds my book obsession and I absolutely love it. But the one I picked is one that I just got for my birthday, and that is Empire of Lies. He took me bookstore hopping for my birthday, and I got to pick out a book at every bookstore, or, you know, a couple books. And this is one that I picked up at Barnes & Noble. It's kind of a what-if thriller. It's an adult thriller, and I'm really excited to read it. but I just don't know when. I want it to fit a prompt for a readathon, honestly. I feel like this is a book that I don't really have a lot that are similar to this, so I want to save it for a prompt that needs one like this. A book you read in one sitting. For this I chose The Selection by Kira Cass. Now technically I did get up and down a little bit while reading this, but I read it on one night shift. I had a baby who was extremely irritable and needed a lot of attention and loving and patting and holding, so I just kind of read my book while I took care of that cute little nugget, and I got this done in one night shift, so I'm counting it, even though I technically did get up to, you know, take care of my patient during that night, but this is counting. The next one is A Book That Made You Cry. So I don't really cry much at books. Honestly, even if I'm really emotional and into them, I don't tend to cry that much at the book, but I did cry at Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. I don't want to say anything in case I give spoilers away to the one person out there who doesn't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, I bawled like a baby. I was in my parents' room actually reading this because I read this when I was still in high school, and I start bawling into the pillow and my mom comes running in and is just, oh my gosh, are you okay? What's going on? Are you okay? I'm like, yes, like, I'm fine, right? And she's like, oh, who died? And I just was so sad because she hadn't read it yet. She was sweet and she always let me read them first, but this book got me. I bawled like a baby. The next book is a book that you got from someplace special, anything that's not your local bookstore or an online retailer. For this one, I did pick another Harry Potter book. I tried to avoid picking multiple books in a series if I could, but this one I'm not going to say it necessarily counts because it is Harry Potter in Spanish, so it's a little bit different. I picked it up when I was in Puerto Rico on a cruise, and I got the Ravenclaw edition of it, so it has those sprayed edges, and really, I love it. I love getting books from places that I travel. It makes it feel so special to me, and I would like to learn Spanish a little bit better. You know, I'm not great at it right now, but I'm trying, and this one I think would be an awesome book for me to read to practice that. The next question is a book you read on vacation or away from home. I did just get back from vacation in July, and on that vacation I read Uprooted by Naomi Novik. I loved it. It was a great book, and it was really nice to have on my vacation because I had really long flights and I had layovers. We went to Thailand, so yeah. It took us a good, 24 hours of travel or some more than that to get there, and so I needed a book, and this one went with me. It was my companion for my trip, and I loved it. Okay, a book you waited over a year to be published. So I don't actually have the physical copy of this, but I think I read my sister's copy of this book, so I don't have the physical, but I do have the first book in this series. I waited for the second book of The Name of the Wind. So this is the first book, The Name of the Wind. The second one is A Wise Man's Fear. And I read my sister's copy of this, so I don't actually have it, but look at this edition. It's gorgeous. I'm still waiting for the third one. So when the third one comes out, that can definitely go on this list because I'm pretty sure it's been 9 years now since the second one came out that we've been waiting for the third one. I just need to know what happens. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask? Okay, a book that you've read more than once. For this one, I had to go with The Night Circus. I have to slide it in here when I can. I absolutely love this book. This is one of my top books of all time. It is amazing. It's kind of a magical realism / fantasy type book, and it is beautiful. I will talk about it more in some of my other videos that aren't already 20 minutes long, but I adore this book. Oh, if you ever read it, please let me know what you think. I love to hear what other people think and feel about my favorite books. Okay, now we are going to go into the years, and I'm going to go backwards because that's the way I stack them, but this is going to be starting with 2019 and then go to 2013. So the 2019 book that I grabbed was A Sorcery of Thorns. I really just kind of grabbed the first book that I saw because it's easy for me to know which books I've read this year. So I read Sorcery of Thorns. I didn't love it. I thought it was okay. It was hard for me to get into. I think it was longer than it needed to be. I wasn't in love with this book. It was fine. This is the second Margaret Rogerson that was on this list though, so that's cool. But yeah, Sorcery of Thorns was finished this year as well. Okay, 2018, the book that immediately came to my mind was Immortal Sands by Mackenzie Mon. I love this book. This book is so amazing. It is a fantasy story about a girl who was kind of wrongfully, but also kind of not. You'll have to read and see, but she was imprisoned for murder, and she ended up escaping, and she is on a quest to save her sister from the corrupt rulers of the land that they live in. And it is just so great and unique, and there are some characters in it that I just absolutely love. I love the main male in this series, Grenick. He is just amazing, and I think the main character is so easily relatable, and she's fun. And I don't think I've talked about this on my channel before. Ooh, got my hair stuck in there. But I love this book, definitely recommend this one as well. But this is the book I read in 2018, and this is actually the first book that I ever read an arc of, so that's really exciting for me. But this actually is the finished copy. 2017, the book that stood out to me I read that year was Wizard's First Rule by Terry Goodkind. This is a honkin' series. If you are wanting a high fantasy series that goes on forever and is really good, really good, but I mean, all the books are this thick or thicker, and I think there's like 12 if I'm not mistaken. Plus he wrote other books that come after that aren't technically part of the series but are a part of this world. So this is a great series. I absolutely love it. I think the main love, like the love pairing in this book, is just amazing because both of them are strong and independent and amazing in their own right, but then they come together and they're just great together as well. There's some really funny characters in there. It's very unique. I love this series. So yeah, I feel like I'm picking some really good ones for this challenge, even though that's not the point of this challenge. Here's my 2016 book. Oh, right. My 2016 book is actually The Hunger Games. I don't own that series. I borrowed it from my sister, so I'll put a picture up one of these sides, whichever side feels the best to me at the time when I'm editing. But I did read The Hunger Games in 2016. Absolutely love that series. My sister was describing it to me, and she's like, oh, it's about these kids that are forced to compete to the death and kill each other in this arena for other people's entertainment. I'm like, that sounds horrible. There's no way I'm going to read that. That's just disgusting. And then eventually I caved and read it, and I love that series. It's one of my favorite of all time. It's probably my favorite dystopian, like young adult dystopian series of all time. But yes, Hunger Games, love that. 2015, so I know that I read Twilight in 2015 because when I got home from Thailand, this was actually the first book I read. I have no idea why this is the one I chose to be my first book reading back from Thailand, but it was. I read Twilight, I busted through it in like 2 days, and I loved it because I hadn't read books in 19 months, and it was painful. So like I was saying during my hunt, I was like, I didn't read any books in 2014. This is impossible. I don't even know what to do. But I guess technically I read a church book in 2014. I ended up going on a church, sorry, dust speck just flew right in my face. I ended up going on a church mission to Thailand. I was there for 19 months, and I was not allowed to read any books that were not church books during that time. So this one is going to be my 2014 book. And my 2013 book is Eragon. I absolutely love this series. I think this is probably one of my favorite young adult fantasy series of all time. I never really hear people talking about it. I guess it's kind of an older series, but I absolutely love it. I think it is so fun. The characters in it are so entertaining. I got so drawn into it, and I just absolutely love the series. I've read it multiple times. I'm probably going to reread it again sometime soon, but I know that I read this one. Okay, and the last challenge, or the first one, whichever way you want to look at it, is the oldest book on your shelf. And for this, I went with the book that was published the longest ago because I have done that before in a challenge, so I knew which one I was going for on that one. I don't know if they're necessarily meaning the one that's been on your shelf the longest or the one that was published the longest, but I went with published or written the longest ago. And that is the Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer. I think this was published sometime in like the 8th century. I don't actually 100% know. Maybe it'll say in here. I'm actually not positive. I probably have to Google it. Maybe I'll like put a little note down here somewhere. But yeah, this is the oldest. So that is it for my bookshelf history challenge. I finished in 7 minutes, 45 seconds. I am really excited about that time because I beat Emma's time, and hers is the only one I've watched so far. I think hers is probably the only one done so far because she just did it today and it's an original tag, so probably, right? Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you had fun with this, please like and subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit the little bell so you can be notified when I post new videos, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!